Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You tell me how excited you are considering the kind of like response that you guys are getting for Mumbai Diaries after the release of the trailer.
Yeah, no, it's been great. Firstly, I'm only so excited seeing the trailer. For the first time seeing the trailer properly like this on a big screen, and
Mm,
like we
mm.
shot the show sometime back. So now suddenly it's like, you know, just remembering everything, happy and excited to share it with everyone, and also feeling proud.
Kokoti, this is one of the thing, right? That 2611 is something uh, in which there are so many films, so many web series, not so many web series, but definitely many films has been made on this particular topic, and all these perspectives are different, right? The thing that I would like to know that when you got to know that the backdrop of the story is this, what were the most intriguing part for you to be part of the story?
Um, See, I've known Nikhil now for a few years, so I knew that his sensibility, is decent, and he'll do a good job of it. Um, See, 2611 has been covered in films before, but and sometimes it can be a tricky thing, to do it in a respectful way, to do it in a dignified way. But in our show, we are not actually. It's not like a documentary which is analyzing the events of 2611. We are using it as a backdrop to our show, and the show is actually set in a government hospital, the Bombay General Hospital, what we've called, and it really focuses on the lives of the doctors and the nurses and the ward boys, the patients, the administrative staff of that hospital, and their lives and what they are going through and they are dealing with. So it's really from the point of view of the medical community, from the point of view of this hospital. So actually now after COVID, I feel it's even more relevant, because now for the first time you have a newfound respect for
For
frontline
doctors.
workers. Huh?
I'm saying for doctors also.
Yeah, for doctors, for nurses, for all the frontline workers. I mean, there's a new sense of, newfound appreciation and respect for them. Is it okay? Like suddenly there's like, is the light flaring?
It's very, your face is almost like suddenly, oh my god,
Yeah.
divine light is
Yeah,
crossing the frame kind of.
I don't know what to do. Is it happening?
Go by those few lines and few words that were like, I was like, wow, and right. So one of them was like, in which you are telling a junior doctor that you have no idea what you are capable of. Unless because he's kind of he was feeling so nervous, probably that was his first day and all of that. Tell me, when it comes to the reality in life, there are situations and there are moments when we actually, unless we have done something, we do not really realize that what we are capable of. If I ask you in your journey, right, as an artist, and especially because you are an independent filmmaker and an actress, what was that one project or assignment or something that has happened that actually made you realize that, damn, I did not know that I'm capable of doing that much unless I did it. Like,
Listen, that happens to me all the time and every day. I'm nervous before undertaking any new project. I always feel like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? I'm not going to be able to do it. I suffer from imposter syndrome. I'm full of self doubt all the time. So, and what's nice is that my character in this, Chitra Das, is also like that. So, while she's actually telling somebody else, it's actually like she's telling herself, you know, because
ah,
for once, often people say that I'm playing women who are strong women characters or women of substance or something like that.
yes.
But here it's been quite refreshing, because Chitra Das, the character that I play, she's the social services director of this hospital. She's not a doctor. She comes from a medical background, but she's not a doctor. And she is somebody who, because of her past and the issues she's been through, she herself is full of self doubt. She doesn't think, she's also scared. She doesn't have that self belief. So, I mean, it's a journey. By the end of the season, you see that she behaves in very courageous ways also. But to begin with, she also has that, she doesn't think that she's capable or that she won't be able to do it.
Moment which actually made you realize your capability? or
I
in which you
can't think
probably.
of one particular thing to pinpoint for you, but I mean, I feel like this is a common thing in my life because I'm often scared of many things, but still I live my life as though I'm not, as though so I mean, I feel like I'm very brave actually, even though I mean, I'm not doing anything extraordinary, but it's just because I often, uh, I do have a lot of self doubt. I mean, not that I don't think I'm capable, but I mean, I'd rather kind of, just take a back seat or not do something, try something out for the first time. Many times that when I do it, I'm like, oh, it was not so bad. When you do it, it's actually not so bad. So that happens to me a lot. It's not just with one thing. It happens to me with so many things. I mean, to a certain extent, it was when I directed my film, or every time I take on a project, every role that I do, I'm like, shit, why did I take it on? Will I be able to do it? And then, somehow we do it. And sometimes it works out well, sometimes, not so well. So many things, like my child, will I be able to raise him well? I mean, so I just feel like this is a very normal part of my personality overall.
Okay.
In fact, during shoot also it happened where, towards the end of the season, I did have a small little action sequence and I was so scared and I thought, no, I'm not going to be able to do it. I don't want to do it, get a stunt double and I don't want to do it. And then Nikhil, the director, was like, no, it's very easy, Coco, you must do it. See, I'll do it. And everybody kept saying, I'll do it. It's very easy. So then I did it. I mean, ultimately I had to do it and I did it. And I was very scared. I was just annoyed, but I did it. And after I did it, I was like, oh, it was not so bad. I did it and it's not actually so scary. So there were things like that. A lot of the time there were explosions. We had to walk on broken glass. I mean, obviously not bare feet.
Yeah.
But we really had to recreate that kind of a scene and that kind of an environment, which was quite challenging. I mean, this is not doesn't fall in the realm of everyday experiences. When we play a character, we do play a character who's been through the regular ups and downs of life, like like ourselves. But very rarely does one have to play a role, where one has gone through something like such an extreme event, like a terrorist attack or a plane crash. So there is no frame of reference because you have not gone through it yourself.
No, that's so true. I mean, but tell me, does that take a toll on you emotionally, in the sense that hangover reh jata hai kya? Like once you are done with shooting, like such like an action packed, so many scenes and sequence, and like you are putting yourself in that. So
I don't think so. I mean, I've been acting for so many years and I've done so many intense roles. So, and also the shooting experience is nothing like the viewing experience. When the viewing experience is of a finished product, with all the elements together, the VFX and the music and sound effects and all of that together. So it's a very different experience. When you're shooting in such a fragmented way, in a non-linear fashion, thoda sa from episode 2, thoda sa from episode 5. So it's really not like that, so I don't really bring home that experience so much with me all the time, I would say. Somewhere something remains, but that is such an intangible thing that you don't know where or how it comes out again. Maybe it is that if I were to go to a government hospital, then I would have some more insight or a little more appreciation or a little more empathy, to a certain extent. Those things, but those are very intangible things. Something remains with you, I think, from every part you play, or at least most of it.
Had like it looks like you actually had like a good time in terms of like you're talking about your film, because your films are releasing. Like 2020, you had quite a good lineup that you had in 2020, and now this is also releasing. So tell me,
if I may, I wouldn't say I had a good time during the pandemic, because you have only seen certain moments, in a year. One is you are probably talking about, the promotions of Gili Pucci or the promotions of Ajit Dasta.
Some of the lovely films, like I kind of loved all of them. Yeah.
Or the promotions of Ram Prasad. So that is not really how my year was, right? Because promotions are a very small part of,
That is something that I was about to ask you, Modi, that keeping that aside, right? Keeping that aside, what is that one thing that probably shifts within you, being a sensible artist, that is like, because something has changed in all of us. Pandemic taught us something or the other.
there are good things and bad things, like in every year. I mean, regardless of whether, the pandemic, of course, brought along its own challenges. It taught us to be more self-sufficient, or, the challenges of, doing online school, and, raising a child in this kind of environment, or, your aging parents, or somebody falling sick. And, so there's been, I would say there's been good and bad, in both, in whether it's pandemic or non-pandemic. I mean, I like to have that kind. I think this kind of an equanimous, philosophical outlook comes very easily to me, honestly. So there have been good and bad things. I've also, one has been able to spend a lot of time with home and family. Because one is not going out so much. I've become more independent. I'm being able to, drive around myself, or parallel park, which I wouldn't normally. I was able to embrace my curly hair, so there have been good things and there have been bad things, and that's life.
Right. So, like, before I, finish the conversation, tell me one thing, that what kind of response probably that you are expecting from the audience for the show Mumbai Diaries 2611?
I don't know. I'm not really thinking about that, right? I have to say, because that is something that is outside my control. I mean, I really don't know how audiences will react to it. I never really think about that. On any release of mine, like, I mean, I have been a part of this project because I believed it, and I had some faith in it, and I think the project, like, the show has a lot of merit and good qualities and things to look forward to. What audience? It's not like I have any expectations from what the audience will look forward to. I think it's because I have done so much work which has been so underseen and underrated, or not reached a wide audience, that I'm so used to that. That I mean, I hope that people will like it. I think they will. I found it very engaging, and I found it an unusual kind of a perspective to take, an unusual setting, the first medical drama, etc. And I hope that people will also respond to it like that.
Yes, even we also hope that. And thank you so much for giving your time. It's really lovely talking to you.
Thank you. Thanks, Arundhati.
Thank you, Arundhati.
Bye.